Careface CVP. Careface CVP. Subscribe, like, comment, and let the whole world know about Careface CVP.
Careface Video Productions.
The Great Honorable Marcus Mosiah Garvey Jr. ONH. Welcome to Careface CVP. I have always wanted to interview you and finally I got the chance. What zodiac sign are you and where in Jamaica were you born?
I'm a Leo. I was born on August 17, 1887, in Prioria District in St. Anne's, Jamaica.
How did your parents afford 11 children in those days?
We were born in a moderately prosperous family. I was the youngest. My father was a stonemason and my mother was a domestic helper. Together, they were able to manage and maintain affordable life for all of us.
How did you become such a successful author?
I inherited a keen interest in books from my father, who collects books, newspaper clippings, articles, and anything that is readable. I made full use of the extensive family library from a very young age.
When did you leave St. Anne's?
I attended local school in St. Anne's until I was 14 years old. At 14, I left for the capital of Jamaica, Kingston. There I was apprenticed into the printing trade through my teenage years.
How did you become so famous?
I've got involved in trade unionism and I founded UNIA as a Back to Africa movement, providing transportation for Africans who are displaced all over the Americas. I also foster restaurants and shopping centers to encourage black economic and independence.
What does UNIA mean and represent?
The UNIA is the organization founded by me, July 15, 1914. UNIA means Universal Negro Improvement Association. It represents the black communities of the Americas and the motherland.
How did you come up with such a great idea and how did it help?
I object to the mistreatment of blacks. I have a strong appeal for blacks in urban ghetto and throughout the Americas and Africa. It helps by fostering black celebration, teaching African history and culture.
When did you started the Black Star Liner Shipping Company?
I founded the Black Star Liner Shipping Company in 1919 with the help of the UNIA members.
Why did you have to meet with the KKK leader?
I believe that I and the Ku Klux Klan share similar views on segregation. Meeting with them, I learned that white Americans will never accept black American as equal.
After creating such a powerful organization, how did you get your message across to black people in the Americas?
I got my message out through newspapers, voice recording, and public gatherings. There I spoke to a large audience, most of all word of mouth.
Where have you traveled to, and have you ever been to the motherland?
I traveled to Central American countries in 1910. I lived in Port Limon, Costa Rica for several months. I resided in Cologne, Panama, England, United States, and Canada. And no, I have never been to the motherland.
Why did you get arrested?
Some say it was mail fraud, but we all know it's because I was liberating, emancipating, and educating Afro-Americans.
Why did you think you got convicted of such crimes?
I stood up and I fought for my rights, speaking truth and demanding justice. But little I didn't know I was faced by all Jewish judge and jury. President Hoover, who referred to me as a notorious Negro agitator, even hired the first black FBI agent in 1919 to spy on me. In 1923, after a controversial trial, I was found guilty of the charges and sentenced to a maximum of 5 years in prison.
Did you see any success in the 1920s?
In the early 1920s, the most famous and feared black man in America was me. I demanded an end to the racial violence and discrimination plaguing the country. I believe in the power of transportation and that it could change black people's lives all over the world.
When did you create the Pan-African flag and why?
The Pan-African flag was created in 1920. It is also called the Marcus Garvey, UNIA, Afro-American, or Black Liberation flag. It was designed to represent people of the African Diaspora and to symbolize black freedom, also in response to a racially derogatory song published in 1900s. Every race has a flag but the coon.
What does the colors of your flag represent?
Red is the color of the blood which men must shed for their redemption and liberty. Black is the color of the noble and distinguished race to which we belong. Green is the color of the luxuriant vegetation of our motherland.
What would you say to our people today?
A people without knowledge of their past history, origin, and culture is like a tree without roots. If you haven't confidence in self, you are twice defeated in the race of life. With confidence, you have won even before you have started. The black skin is not a badge of shame. but rather a glorious symbol of national greatness. Up you mighty race, accomplish what you will. We are going to emancipate ourselves from mental slavery, for though others may free the body, none but ourselves can free the mind. God and nature first made us what we are, and then out of our own created genius, we make ourselves what we want to be. Follow always that great law. Let the sky and God be our limit and eternity our measurement.
The end. Thank you for listening/watching my Marcus Garvey interview. I hope you learned something. I know I've learned a lot. Learn more about Marcus Garvey on Google.
Brought to you by Careface CVP. Subscribe, like, comment, and let the whole world know about us. Careface CVP.